What is shaking? We are back here in downtown Disney. It's been open for 6 days now. So we came back to see if the crowds have changed, if any of the protocols have changed. We're gonna get used to the new gimbal. So,
and your ears.
Yeah,
Ears are back.
she got ears. But we're gonna check it out, see what's changed, see what hasn't. And hopefully we're here early enough so we can grab a bite to eat at Black Tap. We haven't had yet. We haven't had it. If you don't know what that is, it's the place with the giant milkshakes with a piece of cake on top. So let's head in, let's see if anything has changed. And yeah, let's have some fun. So as you can see, there's not much of a line to actually get in. Now it is about 11:30. They opened up at 10 o'clock. But I didn't want to show what happens after the thermometer. So you walk up, they take your temperature reading, then you go through a dog area where a dog sniffs you basically to make sure you're not bringing anything in, and then you go through bag check. None of those had to wait. We just kept on walking. Just remember to keep your parties together. So we're gonna walk through, once Ashley's done taking pictures, we're gonna walk through, check the crowd level. So far in this area, we're out in front of the movie theater and Earl of Sandwich. It's not too crowded, but let's see how crowded it is down at World of Disney. I don't know if we'll go in today, especially if there's a virtual line like there was the other day. So bear with us. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. No real plan except to try to eat at Black Tap, at least hopefully. They don't do reservations. Naples already said they were out of reservations. So who knows? But we will try to eat. And if anyone's wondering, you can see I have a different mask on. I highly recommend these. You can buy them at Target, Walmart. Just look for the.
If you have a big head.
Look for the M, especially if you have a big head. I have a
small head.
I have a big head. Actually, she's got a small head. Doesn't work the same, but it's very breathable. I don't feel like I'm suffocating like a normal mask would. So, don't remember the brand. Just look for the blue with the M, and you're all set.
What is the brand?
It's not M. It says it. Does it say it? Oh, I guess it does say it. Shows you how much I pay attention. So here's just one little precaution, if Ashley can figure out how to use it. But these are throughout downtown Disney, which is really neat. It's not your typical just hand sanitizer location. And it actually says, please wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Or you just do the...
Or what is it, the alphabet?
Yeah.
But I like how it's metal and not just plastic. It's not the really cheap ones that you see next to like outhouses. Like this one is actually legit. All right, so luckily enough, we were able to get a seat here at Black Tap. We've never eaten here. We're gonna kind of dive into what we got once it arrives. Ashley got the All-American burger. I got the Texan burger. So word of warning, come before noon. No line, no wait. We walked right up, we ordered, picked the table. As you can see, there's no one around us. We also kind of went as far as we could just to make sure we were away. But we were talking to one of the cast members. She said yesterday at 1 o'clock, the line was wrapped around the building. And it was like that the rest of the day. And that's how it was last Thursday when we were here. So I'm curious to see if it is that busy today, because so far it doesn't seem like there's as many people. But we haven't made it past Black Tap. We haven't made it down to World Disney. We haven't gone down to the gates yet. So I am curious to see, once we head down there, if there will be a difference. Because I have a feeling a lot of people are going down there, doing their shopping, and they're gonna work their way back and get some food. So once we get our food, we'll show you, we'll dive in and let you know how it is. Like I said, we've been dying to eat here. Today's the day. Here is my burger, my Texans burger. Now, the weird part is, it does come in a box. And I think that's just so it's more sanitary, more clean. But here it is. Looks like a normal burger with some bacon and some onion ring on the side with fries. And Ashley is too busy doing our Instagram. She got the All-American burger with sweet potato fries. So as you can see, they're very basic kind of looking burgers because they're not on a plate. They're not all fancily done up because they are in a box. But I surmise they probably taste just as good as ever. She got an extra bun. Okay. The things you find in a Black Tap box. So we're gonna dive in, we're gonna eat, we're gonna enjoy. We'll let you know how it tastes afterward. Then we'll start walking around. We'll start exploring and seeing how crowded everything is. Like I said, it still doesn't look too bad just yet. So overall, the burger wasn't too bad. I was gonna, what? I hope you could hear it. It was trumpets playing Zippity Doo Dah. I have a feeling we're gonna point out every time they play Zippity Doo Dah because Splash Mountain will soon become Princess and the Frog. Back to food. I was gonna film it. It made a mess. It was dripping everywhere. The onion ring is supposed to be on the burger, so I had to put it on the burger. And yeah, it went everywhere. But it was good. Perfectly cooked to my liking. I got a medium burger. It was cooked perfect. Ashley's burger, she said was good. It looked good. I tried a little bit. Hers was a little more done than mine, a little on the upper end of medium for my liking, but still wasn't bad. But she loves her sweet potato fries. She's still munching away on those. So we're wrapping up here, and just remember, when you eat, you can take your face mask off. But once you're done, they do advise to put your mask back on. So we're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna venture off here. I think right next door is the Disney home store, and because we have a new apartment, a new place to call home, we need to Disneyfy it. We need to at least look around and see if there's anything worth purchasing for.
What you made that thing that you put on, like you hold like when you're cooking, you hold like your...
We need a spoon holder.
Thank you.
I don't know if you could hear Ashley, but we need one of those things that you put on a stove, and then when you're cooking, you just put the spoon on it so your stove doesn't get dirty. We need one of those, and I'm pretty sure they'll have one here. But
We need a magnet.
we need some more magnets. We have one magnet, 2 magnets on our fridge. But we're gonna venture over. It looks like there is a line starting, so they might switch to the virtual queue if they haven't already. But we'll check it out, see how long the line is, and see how long it is for the virtual line. Because last week it was 2 hours for World of Disney, 40 minutes for the dress shop, and 50 minutes for the confectionery. So we were in line for the Disney home store, right? Home store? Home store. It is 12:21. I'm curious to see how long it is going to take to get in. It looks probably 15-20 minutes or so, but we didn't have to do the virtual line like we did last week. Well, at least not yet, or we don't think so. Last week there was cast members around telling you, hey, put your phone number in, do all that. None, at least that we can see. So, I don't know. We're gonna hang out, wait in line. We'll see how long it takes. So not bad. It only took us about 6 to 7 minutes to get in. And there's really maybe 20 people, including workers, in here. So not too bad. So let's look around, see what we can find, and try to limit how much Ashley can spend, because I think she could buy out this whole store. Throughout the store, there's signs like this everywhere. Just so you know. Ash, do you remember when we were running all over the place trying to find these?
Yeah, leave me alone.
Oh, I see.
Oh, hey, I have these. Can you get something for the dogs?
Oh, are those for dogs or cats?
That's neat. I like that. Ooh!
This is a cat collar.
So many more figurines. We have that.
Oh, that's all they saw.
What do we got here?
Yeah.
Once we get a desk.
Cute, but this would be cute for a wedding because that's our theme is Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. What else we got?
Oh, I feel bad we sent her back.
I'm getting this for
Yeah.
our door.
Ashley wants to get these
Okay.
for the two dogs.
These guys.
I'm more inclined with the bandanas.
Sorry about that. Really sorry.
Cute collars though. Oh, look at the spirit jerseys. Okay, I would be more inclined for this Stitch. Is that supposed to be Tink?
Yes.
Huh.
Around here.
But I like the Stitch.
You know,
Oh,
our dogs.
oh, that okay. That's cute.
Be out soon.
This is a big dog section.
This helps to have this.
Well, at least we know. If you want dog stuff. Oh, jeez. Come to the home store in downtown Disney. And I'm pretty sure Ashley just grabbed one of these. Really quickly, as you can see, they have plexiglass at all the registers to help keep the cast members safe. And while I wait for Ashley to check out, I love looking at picture frames. So as of right now, it looks like they're not doing the return lines, at least for everything like they were doing last week. But it looks like the confectionery is just a line, don't have to, you know, do the virtual queue. Just Shop right now has no line. And as you saw from the home store, we just had a line, we didn't have to do the virtual line. So it does seem like things are starting to lighten up a little bit. And I think they figured, at least for the time being, these smaller stores don't need virtual queue. Just wait in line. It only took us, what, 6-7 minutes. So not too bad. We're gonna head down to World of Disney, see how nuts it is. We're gonna get hopefully in the virtual queue line, because Ashley said we can't leave here until we go to World of Disney. But overall, the crowds are much less. And again, there are signs everywhere instructing on how to be safe or how to help be safe. But this walk looks a lot different than last Thursday. It was extremely crowded. And you tried to keep your distance, but it was hard to do. Today, I'd say 50% less than last Thursday. And I don't think they're doing a virtual queue for World of Disney. I would say it's just a wee bit crowded. Like when we got in line with the virtual queue, it was right about here last week. I don't know if they're doing a virtual queue. I really have no idea. So we just talked to a cast member and they said that they only turn on the mobile queue or virtual queue when they run out of space. So right now they have enough space for the queue line, enough shade for people in the queue line.
I look like I'm like tired.
Well, we are tired. We've had a rough week and a half. But they're also using the tram area as a shaded queue line. So they have a little overspill, but he said when that gets too full, then the mobile queue or virtual queue never fails. It goes into effect. So it's about
Effect? You gotta pronounce
effect,
the E.
effect. What time is it?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
My phone?
I know, I have her phone. So it's 12:48. Not too crowded. So if you're here early, it's not too bad. I would surmise probably about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, because that's when we got here last week, is when everything gets a little too crowded. or overly crowded. But we're moving. The line is moving. But let's kill a little time. Let's check out what we got over at the home store. So the first thing we got is a door placard, I guess you would call it. There's no turning back now. I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but it's Madame Leota. You want to turn it over? It's double-sided. Oh, she's gonna take it out.
I didn't want to steal the price.
Let's see here. There, now you can really see it. Now flip it over. This is the part I like, because we have a welcome mat that says the same thing.
And my great, like, bestest work friend or friend now got that from.
Yeah, and it was one of the first things we did. And I kind of cut Ashley off there really quick. It's also the theme of our wedding, so that's why everything we do is Haunted Mansion. But she had a question. Go ahead.
How much? Was it?
How much do we all think it is? I don't know. It's probably like $7.
$7.99.
$7.99. I was close.
And it's not flimsy.
Oh, it's like hard?
Bend it.
Oh, so it's like a hard, like cardboard or hard, thin wood. What else do we get? Shows you how little I paid attention. Okay, I did mention this. We ended up getting one of these. I like it. I get the black one, she gets the white one.
I think you can put a string on it.
Oh, and
you can hang it.
And hang it? Okay. I like that because right now we just kind of throw our keys everywhere and they go everywhere.
And he's going to get the black one, I'm going to get the white one.
Right, like bride and groom.
Can't see the other thing that we got because we have, it's wrapped.
It's bubble wrapped.
But it's basically a red balloon that you put your spoon in.
Right. So yeah, I hope you could hear Ashley there. She's still learning how to project with the mask on. She was just getting it without the mask. Now with the mask, it's a little bit more difficult. But the last thing we got, we can't show you because it is all wrapped up in bubble wrap. We did find a spoon holder, or wherever you want to, spoon saucer, whatever you want to call it. And it's like a red balloon, the Mickey balloons that you would get in the parks. It's shaped just like that. So it's really neat. That was, again, that was about $8 or so. So overall, for the three things, it cost $47. So we're back to Disney prices. Just like lunch, it came out to $50. Was it worth 50? Don't think so. But it was good nonetheless. It doesn't matter. We'll pay the Disney prices. Like we said, we're glad the cast members are back and everything is moving forward. Now we did get a chance to talk to one of the cast members over at Black Tap, and I was curious to see how some of the cast members feel about being.
Is she a cast member now?
Well, anyone that works, I think anyone that works here on Disney property should be considered a cast member because they are here on property. But back to what I was saying, she was kind of iffy about being back. She was kind of glad to be back, at least at work. But she said with the mask and everything, it is really hard sitting out in the sun. Everything's outdoors, and she doesn't feel necessarily like all the precautions are being taken, or as many precautions to where they feel safe. But she was, you know, slightly worried, I guess you could say. But at least here, cast members are on it. They're telling you, you know, wear your mask all the way on. Don't take it off. They're checking you at least with the temperature scan. Now, if that's a valid thing or not.
They've proven it's not.
Right, a lot of people say it's not. It is a good way to tell if you are sick, though. But outside of that, is it really anything? Probably not. But I do feel safe. I feel like the cast members care. You know, like I said, wear the mask, social distancing. If lines start to get kind of funky, so like the churro cart, for instance, the line started coming out into the path, and they don't want that because people walking, you're gonna walk too close. They correct the path, so they're staying on top of it. Right now, we're comfortable, we feel safe. It does get overwhelming, especially in the later afternoon. So if you don't care, if you're more like me, where we have to live, we have to keep going, no matter what time I come, I'm gonna feel fine. As long as I have that feeling that cast members care. If you are a little more timid, you don't want as many people, come before 1 o'clock. Because like I was saying, it's not as crowded now. It's really not. They got the markers on the floor when you're in line. Come now, less people, feel a little more comfortable. So we're almost in. Let's see what time we're at. It's only been about 10 minutes maybe, and we've walked the entire length of World of Disney. We're headed in. Let's see if they've limited the crowd at all. Because last Thursday, crowds were a little bit heavy and a little bit clustered. Well, right off the bat, it is not nearly as crowded. I mean, we can just go back and watch the last video. It was a lot more crowded. I mean, just look at here. So I'm thinking they did have a lot of complaints that it was a little too full. That might be why it is not as crowded now. They're limiting the amount of people inside. But I'm curious to see where Ashley's gonna go, because we're just kind of looking around today. We have no purpose. She doesn't have any ears that she has to buy. But she is trying to look for Splash stuff, because we heard that people were rushing over here to buy all the Splash Mountain merchandise before it's gone. I think this is my new favorite shirt. Well, let's see. This was the most crowded part last Thursday, and it doesn't look nearly as bad. And don't forget, it is the 65th anniversary this year. But just a quick reminder, the front part of World of Disney, or the side that's closest to Starbucks, that is entrance only. To exit, you have to exit Park side, or the Brea Bakery, La Brea Bakery side. That is the exit. One way in, one way out. Keeps the flow of traffic. It is kind of a bummer, especially when you check out like we just did at the other end. But hey, anything to keep us safe. So overall, not too bad. As you can see by the end of the video, at least I hope you can kind of see, it did get a little more crowded. So I think as the day goes on, they try to fit a little bit more in than when we first went in. And that was only about a half-hour difference or so. From when we first went in, there was nobody, to people congregating. That's kind of the hardest part too, is let's say, just for an example speaking, you put 100 people inside, you can't control where those 100 people go. So certain parts, empty. Then all of a sudden, one corner, 80 people of that 100 could be there, and it looks a lot worse. So please try to practice social distancing when you can. You know, when we were walking out, people are like right up behind Ashley, trying, almost like pushing her outside. So just watch where you're going. Be mindful of other people.
Don't walk behind me.
Don't walk behind Ashley, and definitely don't walk behind me. But definitely just try to mind your distance. Try to be, you know, socially aware of what's going on, and keep your social distancing. And I've said this many times, we will get through it if you just practice that. So we're gonna walk back through, see if anything's changed in the last half hour, 45 minutes. We're looking for some pins. We need something Splash Mountain. And what better thing than to get a pin? No luck. We checked the little pin trader here underneath the monorail. No Splash Mountain pins. And we actually found out something quite interesting. Ash, watch your steps. She almost just fell, so now I'm watching every little nook and cranny and bump. But we learned something interesting. Everything limited edition, whether it be AP merch or like a Star Wars Day merch, things that are extra popular really for a limited time. So limited time only, rare merchandise, that's all going to be moved online for the time being. They're not going to, which means everybody's going to be on at certain times, and it's going to be ridiculous for everybody. But it's gonna be like that for the time being. So like 65, you know, 65th anniversary merch, a lot of it's gonna be online. All the limited edition, rare, all that, all online. Not gonna be able to find it here because they can't monitor it as well. With the crowd, it'll be too big of lines, too big of the crowds. It'll be too hard for the cast members to keep peace, keep social distancing. I mean, can you imagine the lines? Especially for like the AP merch.
Well, like
Or-
I said, the Jungle Cruise one was not in the stores.
Right, the Jungle Cruise pop, not in the stores. It's all gonna be online because the lines just for those are gonna be too long while incorporating the 6-foot distance. So, something to keep in mind if you're hoping the parks reopen so you can get that limited merch. It's not gonna happen. Check online. Disney Shop, Shop Disney, whatever it is nowadays. Go online, you'll find all of your limited and rare collectibles there. So a week later, the crowds seem a little less. Now, like I said, we are here, or were here, a few hours before we were last week. Last week we were here about 3:30. Crowds were ridiculous. Plus it was the grand reopening. This week, a week later, we're here earlier, not nearly as many people. So I have a feeling the farther we get away from that opening day, the less and less crowd there will be. And if you're too worried, come in the morning, there's very little crowd. But we're gonna call it, we're tired. We still have a lot of unpacking to do. Still have things like that. We have 2 doggies to get home to now. So make sure to follow us on Instagram. When we're here, we will pop up, post things. That's how you know that we are in the parks. So it's Instagram, DisneyDNA, just like it is here. So without further ado, if you haven't done so already, give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when we upload and post videos. And as always, I guess tell Mickey and Minnie we say hi if you're watching movies.
And your furry friends.
And your furry friends. But since we can't stay in the parks, if you're watching movies, tell them we say hi. And we will see you all
A little later.
What do we get?
Wrong.
Oh,
Churros.
we got churros. So now we have the turkey leg and the churro. I guess next trip we'll gun for the cotton candy.
Or the popcorn. See, I kind of thought it was the popcorn.
Oh, I thought it was cotton candy, so...
Well, yeah, because we felt it like this.
Right, push down.
It's
All right.
cute.
At least,
How was it?
at least we're 2 for 2.